Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new segment on the show. And it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time. And it stemmed from something else that I was meaning to do for a long time. The short story was that I was shopping. I was shopping with Kate and the family probably a year or two ago, and I can't remember if we were at Target or Walmart. But I saw this book on an end cap, and I picked it up, and I was gonna well, I guess I might as well just show you the book. It's called Your Father's Story, and basically this book has like questions in it and things that you can fill out. So basically, my intent was to fill out this book, and then the boys could read it at a later time, or if God forbid something happened to me, they'd have something they could look at and you know refer to, if they wanted to know more about my story or whatever. Not that they couldn't ask me, but it's just something I thought was cool, so I picked it up and tossed it in the cart, and then brought it home and proceeded to do nothing with it. So, as time went on, and it got more and more difficult to just find time to really do anything, especially writing. So, I eventually came up with the idea of just, I could do videos. I could, I don't know why making videos is easier than writing, I guess, although it takes less time, I guess. But, so I figured I would make a series of videos, and I would pick two or three things out from this book at random, per video, and then, we could probably do it that way. I don't know if that's better or worse. I guess that's for them to judge, but they will let me know one way or the other. So, yeah, I guess let's dive into this book. I'm gonna pick a random page. Some of these things have a couple things on them, I think. So, we will just dive in and see what happens. This one says, "What event forced you to change direction in your life?" Boy, there are probably several answers to that question. Well, one thing I can definitely say that forced me to change direction, even after I was 24 when I had Christian, or when Christian's mother had Christian. But, I can't, I was always told I was a good father, but at 24, I was still kind of a kid inside. I had a great deal of trouble making that adjustment, and it was really hard. It was really hard. I just wasn't mature enough. I wasn't. I guess I really wasn't ready to make that leap, but I guess I get credit for not not abandoning it or anything like that. But after things ended with me and Christian's mom, and I moved back home, when Christian would stay with me, my mom was doing most of the caretaking on Christian, and that had a lot to do with my mom, I think, having a second chance to raise me, I think, kind of thing, and also, again, me not fully accepting the responsibility. And then I got with Kate in 2007-ish, and it took a little bit of time, but for whatever reason, I didn't want to disappoint Kate, and I think that's what started me on that track of she was the one kind of thing. And then when there was a time when Kate just looked at me and she's like, that's your kid, you should be taking care of him, kind of thing. You need to be the father, you need to step up. So like I said, Kate and I have talked about this a couple times recently, actually. So that's when that all that stuff really happened, and she actually convinced me to move out of my mom's house and get my own apartment. So, yeah, That's basically when all that happened. And I guess another time, I suppose I should really, things are going to get pretty candid, I guess. More candid than I was really expecting them to get. Right off the bat here, the first question. A few years later, I guess, when Kate and I broke things off, or, I broke things off with Kate, it was me. I kind of realized that I had made a mistake right away. So, you could kind of say that was something that changed things too. So, it took a long time to correct that and put it back on course, but it worked out. So, yeah, there's definitely two events that changed things for me. And I can even add to that, the job that I have right now. Working there is working with the people and not just the customers but the coworkers and the environment has brought back a confidence that I thought was long gone. And it's been just, I think for me, I can't speak to how anyone else has observed me or anything like that, but for me, I know it's been an amazing turnaround. So, that's that's been a great thing for me, I think. All right, this one says, who taught you how to drive, and what was your first driving experience like? Do you think I'm a better driver than you? My dad taught me how to drive. I really don't remember my first driving experience, because you guys know how awful my memory is. It couldn't have been that bad. I do remember other driving experiences that were not that good. I actually told a story about one the other day. I won't go into details, but Aiden had a mishap. And we all have mishaps. So, but I will tell the story to all of you that I told about myself. There was one time when my dad taught me to drive in a school parking lot. And I got behind. I learned to drive in a truck that he had. It was a Mazda truck, I believe. My mom insisted that I learn how to drive stick shift. Do you remember those kids? And I got behind the wheel, and I guess I had the pedal to the metal a little more than usual. And my dad was like, "Whoa, you're feeling confident today, whatever." So we would go around this loop, and I would make turns, and then I would park, and then I would back out, and then I would go again. Well, when I went to park, I came in a little too fast. I went over the curb, and I put the truck halfway in a ditch on the other side. So I had to put on the emergency brake, and Dad had to switch with me and get us out of that ditch. And I remember the rest of that driving session. I was a little lighter on the gas that time. So yeah. That was really, I think, the only bad driving experience as far as learning how to drive. When I first started to drive after I got my license and all that, I was driving, again, Dad's truck. It was like the only vehicle I drove when I first got my license. It was in the wintertime, and coming from my grandmother's house, you go down the road a little bit, there's a really, really sharp turn, and I did not slow down enough for that turn, and the truck slid, and thank God it was just all snow. It was just right into the snowbank, and I could not get myself out of it. Thankfully, a good Samaritan stopped and helped pull me out with a chain, so that was a good lesson about driving in the snow. You just take it slow, and the slower you go, the less you slide, and the less damage you'll cause if you crash. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Are you guys better drivers than me? Probably. I mean, I'm not aware of any mishaps that you guys have had that that you haven't done what I've done so far. Christian and I did have one mishap one time when he was learning to drive. He took a turn a little too fast one time. He took it at like 45 miles an hour. The turn, it was like a 90-degree turn, but he kind of went 45. He didn't go all the way in the ditch or anything. He managed to stop before he got that far. But that's really the only time that we had any issues of that kind. So, yeah, so far I would say you guys are better drivers than me. All right, one more. What do you think? Let's see what we can find in here. Oh, this is interesting. What bad trait do you have that always got you into trouble? Do I have it too? Oh boy, that's tough. Now I really, really got to think. If I had any kind of bad trait about anything, I was a pretty good kid, but it's not to say I didn't get in trouble. But if anything got me in trouble, it was my smart mouth. I hated being yelled at. So I didn't get into trouble very often because I hated being yelled at. But sometimes the attitude would get the best of me. And I will say that being a wrestling fan, the wrestling interviews and stuff taught me to be a smart mouth. So, so yeah, that was a thing. I really, I don't know. I gotta think. I gotta think for a second. I really can't think of any other bad traits that like got me into trouble. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'd have to say that's it. I really can't think of anything else. I didn't generally get in trouble because of a certain trait. Not that I can think of really. And do you guys have it too? Yes, yes, you do. Christian is very much the same as me as far as I don't think it's a trait that gets him into trouble, but it is something that could get him into more trouble. Let's just say that. And Aiden is probably twice as bad. I think we can all agree on that. Aiden is one whose mouth would actually get him into trouble. Yeah. Like Christian and I, like we wouldn't get into trouble because of our mouths, but we'd make it worse because of our mouths. So, yeah, I think that's I think we can pretty much all agree on that. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Like I really can't think of anything trait-wise that would get me into trouble. I mean, I'm one of those people that's almost too nice. So if I get into trouble, it's usually because of a mistake or I don't know, something I did that was stupid. I guess stupidity is a trait that could get me into trouble, but my dumb brain. Yeah, I guess that's all I can really think of. So I guess that's what we're gonna go with. All right, I guess that wraps it up for this first edition of Your Father's Story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. There will likely be more of these in the future. I don't know if I have a set schedule for when I'm gonna do these because my schedule is just straight out booked to the end of my life. So yeah, I will definitely make time for these when I get a chance. And yeah, feel free to send some feedback and let me know what you think. Until then, robertblanchardbooks.com. If you're interested in reading the award-winning Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcast. My Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter, all Bobby's World 2110. My regular videos, they come out Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, it's the Dark Souls remastered No Estus run, so check that out if you're interested. And Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Soulsborne Battle to the Death, where I pick 2 random Soulsborne bosses, and then I pit them against each other, and I do bios, and then I decide who I think would win, and everybody leaves their opinions in the comments. So that is pretty much what's going on right now. And yeah, always more content coming your way because I enjoy it and I have nothing better to do with my life. So that's it. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that crap. And I hope everyone has an amazing week. Be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See you for live, y'all. Bye. What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge, it's for you to judge. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the Silver Medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won Silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.